The tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. And you say Shot City. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. And you say Shot City. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. And you say Shot City. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. And you say Shot City. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. And you say Shot City. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Tailgate Show.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
I bought that Spirit Halloween joint, Jack.
Oh shit! I just
Came in, ready to go. Ready to go.
What is up?
What's going on? How you guys? How you guys feeling right now?
I'm in the spirit of Halloween. How about it? Weird feeling, actually. It's just kind of a weird feeling today. You know, it started off with the Dallas game, which was brutal. But even before that, now there we go. Now we're in the full.
Yes.
Let's get you a full screen layout. Give it all.
Play like a champion today, baby. That's all I got.
Notre Dame West.
That's it. I was happy, man.
Yeah.
Like overall, so the day kind of ended yesterday.
Let's back up. Let's go. We haven't covered the Robert Quinn thing.
Yeah, we did.
Damn.
Didn't we?
No, we did not. We did not cover the Robert
You
Quinn.
want to go back to Robert
fourth.
Quinn? I don't think anybody really cares what we think about Robert Quinn at this point.
Robert Quinn for the fourth, whatever. And then you go out to Dallas. The defense shits the bed. And then we get news that they're trading Roquan for a second. What did you think about that? A second and a fifth and a player?
Second, fifth, and AJ Klein, AK-47.
I was pissed just because it's a shitty season, and I wasn't looking at it from like Jimmy Johnson's draft pick point guide and all. I wasn't getting real super critical about it at the time. I was reacting as a fan, as in my fandom, where like in a shitty season, it's nice to have some guys with names that you like to watch. With everything else going to shit around them, when you know what I mean, when you have this kind of season, of course it's about Justin on the offensive side of the ball. But the only guys we have a very select few guys on defense for a team that we're used to loving our defensive players. It was just kind of upsetting from that aspect, right?
Right.
I like Quan. So like I understand the money would have been ridiculous for his position right now on this team and where we're at, right? I understand $20 million is absolute stupidity for where we're at as a franchise, but the player and the way he played, like the fact that I know you guys were saying like he leads the league in tackles and that's not that big of a deal. To me, it is because of the fact that he's overcoming a lot of bullshit in front of him where he's not as clean as he should be. He's going to ball in Baltimore, and good for him, but because of where we're at as a franchise, I understood the trade. Like I posted last night, I said if we're not getting a wide receiver for letting a guy like this go, then it's bullshit. And that's kind of where I was at with that.
I think it makes more sense for him in Baltimore because they run a 2-gap system as opposed to the 1 gap that we're running here. But I do agree with you that his job was not. I've made how many Blake Martinez jokes because he does rack up a lot of tackles beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Most of that definitely is because of the front defensive line problem that we have here. But I think my initial reaction and based on what Poles said today, which was they obviously very clearly were not going to come to an agreement. We're going to be big spenders next off season, so you're not going to get a comp pick back for him. So I was happy with the trade. I thought even on an expiring contract that he was maybe going to fetch a little bit more. But overall, I mean, yeah, it's bittersweet. Like Diddy said, it in this kind of season, he's like one of a handful of guys that you really would like to continue watching. But from a capital standpoint, moving forward, what's best for the future, I think it made a lot of sense. And I think Poles made the right move.
He has missed some major tackles this year. I remember the 7-yard run against Dallas. It's him and the running back, and he gets an arm on him. And he's not, to me. I understand the move more now than I did at first. I didn't really like it, but I understand it more from he is not a difference maker on this defense as it currently stands right now. You're not going to be able to sign him. So you got a second and a fifth and a player. That's pretty damn good return on as opposed to getting nothing.
It's a damn good return from Baltimore. Baltimore doesn't just throw picks around loosely. Like
No.
they basically came out and said this dude's a boss. For what we got from that particular, the way the organization generally runs, like
I agree with that. That tells you what they think of him.
right.
He'll be a beast in that system. Even if they don't re-sign him, let's say theoretically, I mean they're the best comp pick team in the game right now. If theoretically they don't re-sign him, they're probably looking at a third round comp pick.
Yeah,
so for
not
a team
bad.
that thinks that they can probably do a little bit of damage in the playoffs, I think it's one of those rare trades that was sort of a win-win for both teams.
I mean, throw this around though, right? Like, how would we be feeling right now talking about this if the move that was made today wasn't made? Like, I'd be a little fucking heated right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
if that wasn't the result.
I would personally still be okay with it, just because, again, I mean, as happy as I am with the Claypool trade, and we'll get to that here in a little bit, I think, again, we're going to be spenders next offseason with or without the Claypool trade. And if Poles clearly said if they really did not think they were going to come to an agreement, you kind of had to at that point.
But I think it's a wasted season if you don't find out, if you don't try to get as much as you can out of Fields for valuation purposes.
Boy, didn't
that's
a
good
lot
point.
of.
And can you elaborate on that? Because you had a good point on that in the thread about that, Diddy.
Oh no! All I'm saying, like, if you didn't, to me, I wanted the weapon here, or the added weapon here for Fields, because I want to see. We know now with the defense where it's at, we're just playing for his development at this point, and we sat through Nagy where it wasn't really a fair shake for him to develop. Like, at least they subtracted from one side of the ball to bring to the offensive side of the ball, and we're gonna be able to see his development better with guys like this on the roster.
Well, you had made a good point about how trading Roquan Smith actually hurt Fields in a way. If you could talk about that.
Yeah, because the defense helps the offense. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
complementary football, right?
So they actually came out and said Justin's our guy, is basically what we saw today.
Yeah.
And this is from a GM that really hasn't let open the curtain much at all. Like, he's very intelligent in the way he speaks, but he keeps you kind of distant with how he directly feels. Yeah, my son pointed that out with Fields in his business. He's like, Dad, why does Justin say you know so much? And I've never really. It's sticking out to me. I'm like, oh my god! And then Flus comes on and he starts doing it. I'm like, I heard Pulse today. I'm like, I didn't hear one. But it's funny.
Well, I think you saw another byproduct of the last 2 weeks where Poles is starting to see it. They've developed an offense that Justin can run efficiently, and he needs weapons around him. You've had receivers drop wide open passes. I mean, that defense is not. I mean, the defense as it currently stands was not going to get any better than it is. It's just not. So you make a move, and then you look at this free agency. I think we were talking about. You look at the free agency coming up next year. Y'all want some Nelson Aguilar?
I was going to say,
are you feeling
Sterling
that?
Shepard, DJ
How about some
Chark,
AJ Green,
Randall Cobb, Marvin Jones, Julio Jones.
It's a great move. I mean, it's a great move.
Juju's probably the best one that'll be available.
And even
the draft isn't super deep at wide receiver either, as of now. Like,
right, I don't know who's declared.
Right.
But another point that you made, Diddy, and I started thinking about it more today, is, you got a guy who at the end of this year will have 3 years of experience. Let's say you do take a rookie in the second round.
He's younger than Velus Jones.
Jesus.
Boy, there's some precedent.
There's going to be, there's going to be a period of time for that second round rookie to get his feet up underneath of him and develop a little bit for Fields to see that benefit on the field. So I think having a guy like Claypool, who already has 3 years of experience, just kind of speeds up that timeline a little bit more. So I think you made a good point today, and yeah, I mean, even the second round pick, it's you're overpaying for sure a little bit, but it's a necessary evil based on what the free agent class looks like and what you're gonna come out of the draft with. Claypool's probably gonna be your best option out of those.
Well, I
Right,
think
and
Bears fans should probably get prepared for a defensive heavy draft, and that's probably going to piss a lot of people off.
I'd
think-
say line on both sides.
unless there's offensive linemen available early. But the back to what you were saying, Biscuits, like I'll get back to my thought, man, because I'm getting a deep
Sorry.
thought over here. Go ahead, Jer.
No, hit it,
Like,
man.
No, hit it.
No,
I want to hear this deep thought.
I just
You don't think it's as much of an overpay as I probably do.
I don't, man, because I'm not as much as I am a Notre Dame homer. Like, well, hey, I posted the reunite thing way before the Bears did. I'll just say
Way
that
before the Bears ripped off your
before
tweet.
before the trade happened.
Here, I did this just for you, Daddy.
Love it, bro. You know, I was saying though, Biscuits, like out of all the positions, I don't want to claim Sam Mustipher because like out of all the no, you think he would have came from like a junior high school or something in Indiana, not Notre Dame. Like out of all the Notre Dame linemen, that's one thing they do produce is very good, solid NFL offensive linemen for the most part.
He had one bad play against Dallas. He's played pretty well.
I was going to say too is he's an undrafted free agent, so it's not like he was some first, second, third round bust of a player. Yes, he's not very good, but being an undrafted free agent, being where he's at, you know, I'm not going to sit there and rip Notre Dame for that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will. Fuck Notre Dame.
No,
Anyway.
but with Claypool, I'm super excited because of the fact that like Matt Canada has kind of dropped a couple shits in Pittsburgh. I think
the entire fan base fucking hates him.
He was able to play with a guy in Big Ben who could extend plays just by being a veteran. But like Justin extends plays like Big Ben used to, where he can move around, right? You got a guy like Claypool that you're trying to lock down for that period of time with his speed and size and strength, and his range, right? Like his catch radius is huge, man. So like a weapon like that, trying to stay even on the double team, a 50-50 ball is probably more like it probably turns into like a 60-40 in a double team.
I didn't realize how big that dude was.
He's a big dude, man.
He's huge. He's
the
tall.
Boontain runs deep with him, my friend.
He's 6'4" and runs a 4.40.
But it also too is it unlocks Mooney now because now Mooney doesn't have all the attention on him.
Theoretically, yes,
it opens up a lot more for everybody.
Yeah, it makes him like a mid-level 2 now.
Yeah, which I'm
good with.
Yeah,
exactly. But now you have the option of like the rest of the receivers on the team could be Nikhil on some plays in the middle. If Pringle gets healthy, do you know what I mean? You can start working guys. Now you have options, right?
I want to see the Notre Dame package. I want to see Cole Kmet out there. I want to see Claypool out there. I want to see St. Brown out there. Let's go!
Oh my god!
I can't believe I don't. If it works, I don't give a shit.
As much shit as I've given St. Brown,
you know what you won't find?
Give that guy the ball more.
I think he'll be better with Claypool there.
Yeah. Theo Riddick was in the league, Jer. For a while. You said Notre Dame running back. Theo Riddick.
Yeah, they don't have those.
Who was the Notre Dame running back we did have there for a minute? We had
You're not making fun of Notre Dame running backs, Jer, are you?
No, not today. I'm letting you have your moment.
Jerome Bettis, come at me with some money from IU.
Okay.
All right.
got real quiet in here. Jer, what's your thought on Claypool?
Given the free agent market and given where you're going to be drafting, which is probably top 8 to 9, at least in my thoughts, I think it's a great grab. Big guy, fast, a real weapon. You know, finally Justin can maybe throw it up and somebody that you can kind of trust to go get it.
That's a big point right there, Jer.
I mean, who do you trust on this receiving core to go up and get it?
Nikhil
Nobody.
hasn't played with Justin long enough in live action, so I can't.
Well,
Really, he has that
I hate to bring
potential.
it back to the Dallas game, but we had 3 opportunities in the end zone where a receiver went up, got their hands on the ball, and then bring it in.
Yeah, speaking about
Equinemi of St. Brown
he
for
should have
one.
had that one.
He had that ball twice
Yeah.
and dropped it.
Velus dropped a big one too.
Bayless dropped a big one.
Is there anything that guy does well? Like, he can't run routes, he can't catch.
But that's
shuffles his
like Chair
feet.
said. That's the nice part, though. Justin doesn't have to deliver a perfect ball to Claypool. Like
True.
there's room, there's margin for error there, and young quarterbacks need that sometimes. There's not another guy he can rely on that way yet. I wish Komet was that safety valve, but he's had to stay in and block. He should be a fully developed safety valve for Justin by now, but our O line's been so bad that you need him dedicated sometimes on the line.
I mean, you got to have real offensive threats on the outside. I mean, we have managed to rush for 230 yards the last 3 games in a row.
First time since 1967.
That shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit doesn't happen a lot, often. And how long can that be sustained? I don't know. I mean, I feel like
I will say I'm glad Monty stayed. I'm glad. Like right now, because now you got a guy that is still a solid blocker for Justin, still a good running back, still a good mix of running backs we have. So like,
still got to get Komet out there. You got to find a way to get Komet out and not be stuck blocking all the time. Yeah. I noticed it more and more against Dallas, and understandably so. I get it. But man, he's in on the line a lot. He needs to be out catching balls and pause. And
yeah,
now maybe that might actually help that out. I mean, you got a receiver that you're not going to necessarily double, but you have to respect his speed downfield. And you've got to respect that he could go up and catch a big pass over the top. So now what do you do?
His potential is just like, I'm excited, man. I'm excited like we drafted a dude that I liked out of the draft. Because he really does have that wide receiver 1 potential with his skill set. I'm not saying he's anywhere close to being that guy on a consistent basis, but I think he has that potential.
You think his ceiling is there? That's interesting because I didn't know. I haven't really thought about that today. Is he a 1? Is he a 2? Is he? Oh!
I thought you were gonna wear the Kanye shades at least. Not.
I don't have those. I don't have those.
Welcome to Chase Claypool Hour.
Jared's probably gonna get some now.
What? Oh, the Kanye shades?
Oh,
that'd be pretty sweet.
Good.
Maybe we can call him something else. I'm pretty sure somebody else wore them before he did.
Yeah.
He didn't fucking invent that shit. It's like Max Headroom shades.
More importantly, man, how you feeling?
I'm doing all right. Could be better. Could be worse.
How about the move today?
What move?
Oh. And you wanted Claypool back in that draft, bro. So like you gotta be a little bit excited here.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, I definitely was shocked. I mean, I was telling you all week that I didn't think they would do that. I thought they would be just kind of looking to stockpile and
which would have been okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been great. I wouldn't have felt great about it. Imagine watching. Can you imagine watching this team for the rest of the year with that offense? I mean, even if they defense. Let's say they do all of a sudden score 28 points a game every game, but the defense gives up 50. And I think
you signed up for that.
God damn it. I did not sign up for 28 to 50, 29 to 50. I think what I signed up for was like 50 to 45. You know what I mean? Like we win or, occasionally by outscore. I don't know. I don't fucking know. We don't want to see that shit. That was horrible. Like, I don't know if you guys already talked about the game, but
we're kind of going in and out of it, talking about why a guy like Claypool makes sense.
We're talking
when you've had receivers drop balls.
I'm just saying, like, I was thinking that they weren't going to make any moves. I think that, this was a strong move. And, it's guy's still signed for another year after this. He's younger than fucking Velus bum-ass Jones.
His potential. That's what I'm...
Yeah.
You put a guy with, and you draft a guy with them too. You might have a three-headed monster too.
This is sort of one of those things that's kind of meaningless, but I do think it's interesting that he is one of the few Team Jordan guys in the NFL right now. You know, like they don't. I mean,
they don't throw that out there loosely. Yeah,
Kyle Pitts and a few other guys. It is what it is. I think it's interesting. I think it's a cool move.
They had Kemba Walker, just throwing that out there. And Ray Allen, but I'm just saying
the prospects of a Mooney, Claypool, Komet, ESB, N'Keal Harry, like we were joking, I think, or somebody was saying, like, could the Bears wide receiver core be better than the Packers on paper earlier in the season? And I don't think they could have.
That is
now. I think they definitely are.
Oh, they're not happy, bro.
I think it was that way before Claypool.
Maybe.
Is Mooney better than Alan Lazard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shit. It is bad up there.
You hate to see it.
Well, and I think, like, hey, we didn't even talk about the victory that we can celebrate right now, because getting Claypool over them, kind of outbidding them, like, that hurt, bro.
That's the same shit that happened with Mac too. Like, they got chosen against because they believed the team, the Raiders, thought we would have the worst pick.
Yeah, but this was the same round pick. I don't think Green Bay was willing to go as rich as we did.
Yeah, they went second.
I think he meant on the Mac trade. I think
the Mac trade, they weren't willing to go all that far in as we did. This one, they were in the same round.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were willing to come close, but that I thought it was matched, and it just came down to who had the better
draft position,
first round pick, and so they thought the Bears would have a higher pick to give up.
Second round, yeah.
Second,
yep.
Right.
But that might not be the case now.
It's true. Jesus. Oh my God. The
mighty have fallen.
The double whammy.
Anyway, that's a victory, man. That's better than, like, winning a game against them, to be honest.
They lost 4 in a row. Then they could have got a receiver, and we snatched that.
Yeah, bro. They're not happy. I don't know if you talked to. You should have your brother on tonight, Biscuits.
There's a lot of moves today.
I don't think he's alive after his Halloween.
Is that right?
He was taking everything down today, and then I actually messaged him the Claypool news, and then when Diddy sent that in the thread about the Packers, I sent it to him. He was like, just stop texting me. So he's not happy.
What? Where does he?
He can dish out the shade, but he can't take it, huh?
Around his house, he's got like a zombie chilling in his dining room all year round. He's got like a
shut up,
dude. I swear to God, man, he doesn't have a basement in his garage or anything. So he's got like all these animatronics.
So his house is like an indoor haunted house all year,
pretty much.
Got it.
What happened though? Like, you guys love that shit. What happened? Let's get into that.
What?
City wants to explore why you and your brother are giant horror fanatics.
Like, what happened?
Beatings as a child.
Fangoria magazine.
Dude, I used to love Fangoria. Nice pull.
We should do that. We should do that, like a weekly segment, like not on the day we're doing a pod, is just behind the biscuits. Where we're just like
behind the biscuits.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That could be risky.
I don't know if anyone's ready for that. That's like some serious fucking unearthing of the catacombs. It's like down underneath Paris.
We'll probably get Netflix picked that one up.
What?
About the biscuits. Probably get that to Netflix would pick that show up.
Yeah, well, shit. You know what? Like a crazy couple of days here in Bearsland. I mean, you guys
thought he was gonna call me.
talk about the Roquan trade, which I think had people pretty tore up. A lot of people.
Yeah, we talked about that
a little bit. What are your thoughts on that? Sorry, Diddy.
I mean, my thoughts are basically that it's an unfortunate circumstance that it was partially created by Roquan. I think if he had an agent, somebody to talk some sense into him, he would have already had a contract. But the end of the day, I didn't really want to pay him $20 million, or I didn't feel
Ring,
like
ring,
the Bears.
ring, ring.
I don't think the Bears should pay him that much.
Is that St. Omni?
And
You want to pay me
so-
what? Oh, he's such a cute guy.
So, like
Good
to get
boy.
2 picks for him, I mean,
And a
especially
player.
and a player,
Hey, don't forget
AK
AK
47. I love how we've just given him 47. If he doesn't get 47 at this point, I'm gonna be salty. What's Claypool gonna wear? 17?
83.
Oh, is that confirmed?
He's wearing Wim's number? Fuck.
No, he's wearing his number.
I know, but that was Wim's number. I just realized that Wims is still on a team. When you guys,
I don't know what numbers picking.
Who does he play for?
he's in the Cardinals organization. I don't know if he's on the roster,
Damn.
but that somebody you guys said.
Well, yeah, he's a benefit to have on a practice squad. Like
That-
as far as mimicking a tall wide
all.
receiver. Like,
What is it? All of the first round picks of the what draft was it? The 2019 or 2018 draft?
2018.
2018 draft are now gone.
Gone.
A couple of them out of the league.
there's only 2 starters, 1 starter on each side of the ball. Still here from 18, and Cody's actually out. So there's only 1 starter from the 18 squad still starting right now.
Eddie
Unless,
Jackson.
That's it.
Who's that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Cody.
E.
On the other
Jackson.
side, when he's
Cody.
hurt.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
God, can you imagine being a captain on the defense and be like, hey, fuck, am I next?
That's my
Yo,
major.
I
Actually,
wanna know-
that's a good point. That's my main concern. You got rid of your 2 defensive captains. And you
I
try
want to know
you are
how
trying
it
to
went
build
down,
that.
though. I want to know, did they tell Eddie he was the captain, and then like 4 hours later, Roquan's like out?
Look
Or
at
which-
me.
Like
You are
in,
the captain now.
in which order?
I think
No, like
Diddy.
in-
I think Diddy makes a good point too. I do think there is a little bit of a difference. Like, had you done this like when Tressman came in and you were jettisoning like Briggs and Peanut or someone like that in that sort of locker room, I think it makes more of an impact.
They're literally saying, "Who'd you guys want to vote off the island?" Okay, you want these 2 off? Well, they're gone. Like
It's a young team though. I
they
don't
got
think
voted.
it's
Their
gonna-
captains got voted off, bro. Like,
Yeah, they voted their own fucking captains off. I mean, that's fucking Roquan's fault, though. Anybody on that team in their heart of hearts has to realize that he fucking just played that all wrong.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Well,
and
so
Paul said
Kip's-
it so much as today is like, had he had proper representation, we probably would have got the deal done.
Mm-hmm.
I think Catman and the blog were both saying that he liked to party too much at night. I'm like, we're going there now. Like,
Yeah, that's
Well, he
horseshit.
was a thicker cookie this year.
Yeah, but he was still
what-
playing good.
All right, explain that reference.
He was still playing good. I mean,
Was
what?
This year has not been his best year. It's
This has
probably
been the
his
worst.
year.
If this has been the worst defensive line he's ever played behind, and he's getting much
Fair.
more pressure in his face
If he
quickly.
But you
wasn't
want to
play-
be paid $20 million.
Jared, I understand that, Jared. But if he wasn't playing well, do you think the Ravens would have just given 2 picks for him?
Right, that's what we were saying
This is
earlier.
the
They
Ravens.
don't exactly.
Like this is the
they-
Ravens know what they are getting, and he was playing well on a basically young rookie defense with like Jalen Johnson and Bojack and like a bunch of rookies and randos.
And he's gonna fit their scheme way better.
yeah, he's
That the two
he's
gap
going
there
to
in Baltimore
he's
would be
going to
perfect
go
for him.
there and play really well, and I hope that he gets paid for Roquan's sake.
He led
But
the league
he-
in tackles behind that defensive line. Imagine what he's going to do in Baltimore.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Yeah,
a lot
solo
of.
tackles. Is that what that was? Solo.
I mean, a lot of.
Well,
you
but
know,
the only reason he's making those tackles mostly, past line of scrimmage is because the defensive tackles aren't getting anything on the interior there.
Very
listen,
true.
again, the Ravens of all teams would not have given up 2 picks for the guy if he
And
was
their
playing bad and having a bad season. Like, it's just he's. There was no point.
He got injected into a first place team.
There was no point. Exactly. There
Yeah.
was no point in keeping him for the Bears because what he was doing wasn't that useful to them. And then you give up 50 points.
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't pay $20 million to an off the ball linebacker. You just don't.
I mean,
You do if he's keeping
he's
you
Fred Warner
over the top, right?
Right.
I mean,
If guys aren't catching passes over the top of him like they did all game versus Dallas on play
I mean,
action.
I think if you go back and you look at the history, though, of that position on Super Bowl winning teams,
I agree.
not...
I'm just saying there's maybe 2 to 3 guys in the whole league that are worth that. Whereas every team could afford, would really like to have a $20 million a year end.
What player right now on this roster out of the starters do you feel has an impact to change the game out of everybody we have on our roster right now?
Brisker and Jackson.
What?
Brisker and Jackson.
Do you think it's safe
for me?
Okay.
Eddie
just in terms of
Eddie's
impact of the game, right? You said?
I didn't expect all
defense
that.
only?
Impact only. Jalen Johnson, for sure.
Well,
I said
Fields.
So you think
Fields? If you're going whole team, it's Fields.
That's what I'm saying. The whole team.
I thought we were talking
right?
defense. My bad.
No, the whole team. It's Fields, right? Fields is that guy now.
For sure.
That needed to happen. But no, I think sure, but Roquan was the big name. Now there's none of that. Fields is the guy on this roster right now, and that's kind of how it needs to be, right?
The thing that I appreciate is that he got decent value for him. He got him out, and we don't have to talk about it anymore. He was every week. It was did Roquan play good? Did Roquan not play good? Should they, they made an attempt to sign him. He acted like a little bitch, threw a fit, called everybody out.
It wasn't that bad.
That statement was bitch made.
Yeah, whatever.
I thought everything was good up until that written statement.
Sure, I've seen way worse contract negotiation bullshit than that.
So what? Doesn't mean it wasn't bad. I thought it was bitch made, talking to he's trying to.
I also don't blame him though for.
But
trying
Ramsey
to
showed
play
up in a fucking money truck and it's
not that
way.
That's after he got signed, did he? That's after he got signed. That's stupid. Yes, but
somebody
it's
call him McCaskey.
I'm just saying,
call it Kasky.
That's just not done. If he had an agent, he'd already be paid. He'd probably be making fucking 17, 18 million a year, and he'd be set for life. But
aren't you happy that he didn't?
Yes, at the end of the day, I'm very happy we don't have A-Rob or Roquan, tying up $35-40 million. Both of them are. Yeah. I mean, Roquan, I think is going to go on to have a good long career, but A-Rob is washed.
So if this move didn't happen today, like I asked these guys earlier, how would you feel about the Roquan trade?
I feel fine about the Roquan trade still. I would feel fine, but I would not feel as excited for the rest of the season.
Right. Me and you were on that cliff too. We're
that would have gave you 2 second-round picks, and we've learned that your second-round picks can be starters in the NFL. Because our 2 second-round picks,
I was fine with it.
Sure.
So they got a guy who's still young and who has a tremendous upside, and
he's a specimen too.
I mean, he's a professional professional wide receiver. And he's
And the best part is even though you gave up your own second-round pick, but you still have the Ravens second-round pick, and you have a proven commodity there. So if you wanted to take a wide receiver in the draft, you're not solely relying upon that one guy panning out.
You know how many players the Bears have ever had that have scored 4 touchdowns in a game?
4 touchdowns in a game?
Claypool had 4 touchdowns in a game once as a rookie.
Al Bundy did.
You've had what, 2 maybe?
The Bears. I mean, how many times have Al Bundy?
Al Bundy and Polk.
How many times have Bears players non-quarterbacks? I mean, shit. Even quarterbacks, there aren't very many.
Probably some running backs, definitely.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying. Not many
I can think of one.
If ever has a Bears receiver ever had 4 touchdowns in a game in the modern era, I don't know.
Gabriel came close in Washington. Was it 3
I know
or 4?
3.
3.
I know 3, but maybe Alshon,
Brandon or Alshon, maybe.
Are we counting quarterbacks too?
3.
Huh?
Are we counting quarterbacks?
Well, I think if we count quarterbacks, you'll definitely have more, but you're not gonna have many more. I mean, obviously, obviously, there's a bunch of quarterbacks.
So Gale Sayers had 6 touchdowns.
Yeah,
right.
That's an easy one.
I'll get back to you. Stats and gravy loading.
But here's one for you, AA. Extended plays and off-script stuff. How do you contain a guy like Claypool with Justin's legs? That's what's going to be fun.
Right. The other thing is it's going to take pressure off of Mooney, immediately. you have
I think
to
it
pay,
might take them off of Komet too. Like I was
it's
telling
going to take pressure off everybody. You have to pay attention to Chase Claypool. He comes on the field. You better know where that motherfucker is.
Hell yeah, there it is. All right.
Like, you
Don't
better
stop.
know where Chase Claypool is. Like, you lose track of that guy, it's to the house. Like, this a beast. This is a
And
beast.
If
Like,
Justin isn't perfectly accurate, that dude has reach, man. Like,
yeah,
has
he's
catch
making
radius.
fucking Mitch Trubisky look good.
Oof.
You know, he's making
Woof.
fucking
those guys are gonna
Kyle
get him.
Rudolph.
We're gonna get him killed though.
This
I showed
dude,
you
this
that.
dude's catching touchdowns from Kyle Rudolph, bro. Like,
I think he threw one, didn't he? Claypool threw one Sunday.
Yeah, he did throw one Sunday on a jet sweep.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
he's a beast.
Yes, coming soon to a Bears offense near you.
Hey man, I'll take it.
I mean,
Something
just-
to get excited
Yeah.
about.
Put him in just to run go routes.
So, what do you think about
Sunday.
the offense this week?
Who, me?
Yes.
It was cool, you know. It was looked, you know,
I'm taking
pretty
notes.
fluid.
I'm taking notes.
They mostly they mostly you know, I never claimed to be any type of analyst.
I'm
They
joking
mostly
around.
they mostly looked pretty smooth with it. I
The
don't think
offensive line did work, man.
I don't think Montgomery really impressed me very much. I think he kind of did his thing where he runs into the line instead of finds a hole.
What happened? The offensive line did work.
They didn't do too bad.
They did good in the run game. They rushed for over 200 yards
Absolutely.
again.
Mhm.
I mean, you know,
Riley
it's hard.
Reed looked
I'm
pretty
sorry,
good at right tackle, I thought.
I'm thinking about Lawrence just coming in and blasting the fuck out of Fields.
Right,
on that
but they
two-point
mostly
conversion. But
neutralized-
that was on
they-
Fields too.
It's a one-
They
Wonderful.
mostly neutralized Parsons, and
Yeah.
he only got, I don't think he got sacked that many times.
He was banged up though. He was like hobbling in and shit.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think he's never gonna go through a game without getting hit. It's just not gonna happen.
He's a tough dude.
I just, you know, I mean,
He was sacked 4 times in Dallas.
was he? I feel like I don't remember.
I think Justin had 2 really good plays that I thought. The play action pass for the touchdown to Nikhil. I thought that's where I thought in my head it's like, oh shit, he finally got it. This clicked a little bit with him.
Yeah,
You know, I
it's
mean-
like over the middle, plants his feet, fires a dart.
That looked
Big
like
target.
yeah,
You know,
and it's like
like-
wow, that works.
but
That's
you know, and also with anticipation, like it wasn't
Right.
like, you know, I mean,
If I were
That's
the
all right.
Bears right now, I would actually start working Nikhil out to be a tight end. You do a double tight end set with him and Komet. You know what I mean? He's
They've
big
sort
enough.
of been doing that with him a little bit already.
Right.
Sort of use him as that U tight end.
But put him on that part of the depth chart going forward, because now with the 2 receivers you have, you can afford to see who fits in the
it's
slot. Basically,
hard to give up the. I don't know what kind of blocker he is.
He's
I mean,
he's a really good blocker for a wide receiver.
right,
Yeah,
but he's
but-
not gonna be on the edge like
No,
blocking.
I
do you
think-
think?
yeah.
No, just with 2 tight ends in though, you can.
Right.
I'm just saying.
But
you
I'm
can
saying
be-
is he's one. I don't know. I just right now the tackles are still pretty suspect.
Reed didn't play. Reef. Riley Reed. I'm going to hell for that.
So what did
I don't
you-
think he
what-
played too bad.
Nah, he played
I think-
fine.
I mean, I think he played as good as
4 sacks.
I
I
his
mean,
is great.
replacement.
the Dallas defense is pretty sick. Like, let's not act like that. It wasn't a good defense. And
No, their offensive line is pretty sick.
if Parsons, if Parsons, you know, doesn't score that touchdown, like we'd be talking about him having a pretty non-existent game.
That was my
he was
argument.
beat
for
up. Once again, we beat them up again. You
that
know?
offensive line, though, man. I wish Fields had those kind of horses in front of him. Like,
I mean,
I think you're
was
starting to
just-
see some of the pieces, man.
I was just pretty pleased that they were actually able to like come back because I thought initially, again, they kind of came out the gate slow.
Jared, they
you
gave
go
up
down 20.
4 sacks, Jared.
Yeah, towards the end.
Yeah.
Most of them were. They only had 2 sacks going into like the third quarter, at the end of the third.
I mean, sacks are
So,
sacks.
I mean,
like I don't really know how them being late in the game discounts them. I think those are worse.
Yeah,
well, I mean, when you're down 20, situation makes
Right,
it
but
worse.
you need to throw. Like we have to be able to have situations where we have to throw and they can throw.
the run
So
blocking's been good.
it's almost like two different teams. Like
I'm just saying that
when they
against
run
a
block.
very good defense where you've given up multiple sacks to lesser defenses, you only gave up 4. And you ran for 240. I think that's a pretty good day as an offensive lineman, considering.
Offensive
Yeah.
line didn't play terrible. They
I
weren't
think
bad.
I think the bar is pretty low, but yeah.
Exactly. I'm not saying the bar's high.
There's also been 5 Chicago Bears besides Gale Sayers that have scored 4 touchdowns in a game, but it hasn't been done. Hasn't been done since 1973. But there are 5 other guys.
Boy, 1973.
Prior to 1973, our offense was popping, and now 5 guys had 4 touchdowns.
Who are they? Mike Ditka?
Bobby
Lane.
Mike Ditka's one.
Yeah.
Bobby Douglas.
Bobby Douglas, not Bobby Lane.
Rick Caceres.
Mm.
Willie Gallimore. And Harlan Hill.
Harlan Hill, who still owns the wide receiver record book, even though he's played such a long time ago that the term wide receiver didn't even exist when he played. It was just like
end.
a split end.
It was called end.
Yeah, just end. Go over there to the end. Where?
The end.
To the end. Just line up on the end. Oh, okay. Come on, Harlan. What?
Which is funny because most of our wide receivers currently would be perfect for that era, blocking out there on the end.
Right.
There's one thing to be said about this group. I think they've done that obviously really well. They've definitely been a contributing factor in that number 1 ranked rushing offense. Something that Claypool also does well. So he kind of gives you that vertical threat, but he can also block, which they value.
Although I don't know that he's. I mean, I don't know. The Steeler offense.
I don't want to see him blocking here.
Yeah.
No, I want to see him going out. I'm just saying
the Steeler offensive line is pretty bad, but he I don't think Claypool was having like a phenomenal season this year, was he?
300 and some yards and 1 touchdown. But he's also had Kenny Pickett, a rookie, and he's had Mitch Trubisky.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, I feel
Mason
like
Rudolph.
Carl Pickens. Carl Pickens has come in.
The corpse of Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, he hasn't exactly had.
I get it. I just think Carl Pickens has come in and like
George Pickens.
Sorry, I'm thinking of his dad. George Pickens has come in and outplayed him.
Well, you can also say Deontay Johnson, who's had, I think, back-to-back 100-plus yard catches here.
Right.
But
Pickens has 26 catches, 338 yards, and a touchdown. So he hasn't done it by much, but I think he's.
But that's the other thing too, is he's also fighting with Deontay Johnson and now George Pickens for targets. So theoretically, he's going to get more of a focus and a share here.
Oh yeah, I mean he's going to have every opportunity to blow up here, if they can get clicking. I mean, he's going to have every opportunity.
Well, Diddy was talking earlier. What do you think his ceiling is, AA?
His ceiling? Shit, I don't know. Fucking 15 this season?
No, just in general. Do you see him panning out to be a potential? Do you think he has enough talent and potential so far to be a wide receiver 1, or is he just a really
on
good
this
wide
team?
receiver?
Sure. On this team, sure.
On a playoff competing team,
I think he has the potential, but it's fleeting. Like, I don't know if he could still get back to that. I think he can. I think he can come close. Notre Dame. I think he can. I think he can definitely come close.
Go ahead, touch it.
At least you know what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he can come close to that. Why not? I just feel like this team's still going to run the shit out of the ball. So I don't know if we're really going to, I don't see him like catching 100 passes or anything.
No, but if he can be that play action deep threat.
Yes, absolutely. Can he be that? Absolutely. Like, no doubt. No doubt.
We're running more of a Baltimore style offense, right?
Few
Can
plays.
he be the Hollywood Brown?
What? Drop the ball really deep?
If you're throwing it deep and he can catch it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Could he be that guy?
Who?
I don't know. He asked Lamar Jackson. He would like to have a Claypool. He doesn't even have that guy.
He's bigger than that guy.
I know.
Yeah, he's a faster Rashad Bateman. And taller, actually.
You'd love to see it.
He kind of has
It's it's
nowhere
exciting.
near the talent level yet. But like I was talking with Jared before the game, like when Vincent Jackson was on the Chargers,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
that could be his. I think that could be like his peak. You know what I mean? Like if we get that guy, I'd be happy as
It's
fuck.
gonna be interesting. I mean, I don't know. I wonder if
Got the Dave Stewart look going on.
I also hope he's a point of emphasis. He should be, goes without saying, but in the red zone too. I mean,
Yes.
I think Diddy was saying earlier about having a guy, or Jay, maybe it was you, Jared, just to kind of throw it up to.
You can throw it up and trust him.
Jesus, that's your red zone guy right there.
the question is can Justin put any fucking touch on anything in the red zone? That'll be
No, that's a good point.
that's part of the because in theory you should be able to throw it up to Komet.
He absolutely
And-
can.
Well, Komet's been in line when blocking a lot.
Yes,
A lot.
I'm just saying I still think he doesn't.
and he hit a
can
tight
do-
end in the flats for a
He
touchdown.
can do the rollout and zip it to the corner to the front pylon. He can do that throw.
He needs to be able to trust his offensive
the
lineman.
touch. It's the touch
He has a
fade.
Yeah.
Which I
and
thought he
because
did. I thought he did it, Dallas. I thought he trusted his line more.
Not like he did in Ohio State.
I'm just
Well,
saying.
no.
that-
Well, fuck. It's Ohio State. You're not.
I'm
playing.
saying, Jared, you even talked about how good of a touch thrower he was in college because he was fucking.
but he
had
wasn't.
the time.
I don't
He's
recall.
capable of it.
I don't recall a lot of him throwing from the red zone into the end.
Yeah, he could.
But I don't think he did it a lot. He was constantly throwing like 40-yard touchdowns, like
No, he
35-yard touchdowns. He was throwing, like and sure he would throw with touch, but I just don't think. I don't know that he. I don't recall a lot of highlights of him showing like
Here
like
comes
a
the 7-minute video.
corner
montage.
fade. That's like I don't really I think he can. He has to get protection though.
What did
Because
you
can
watch? Did you watch the Just Bombs like version of it? The Fields highlights where he's just like throwing the freaking
I
long
just
ball
don't
and
think
that's
there was a lot of it. Most of it wasn't that. He was throwing it up to Olave and those guys.
Yeah.
A lot of deep shit. I mean, and that's just like not. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying he better show that he can now. He has no
Right.
excuse.
Well, the O line's an excuse, but yeah.
And because you need to throw those throws from the pocket. You can't throw
Exactly.
you can't.
Well, it should
roll
be a
out.
3-step. It should be 1, 2, 3, boom.
Not even 1, 2, 3. It should be like one boom, practically. If you could throw it with touch.
But when those big boys are coming back at you because they're not holding their ground, like it
I think it
throws you off.
Of course, it
It starts from the center though, Jared. Mustafer's always getting pushed back. So your
Yeah,
center.
I don't disagree.
He hasn't showed me a super great ball placement in the end zone yet. That's all. Hasn't showed me that. Because maybe a lot of reason is because he hasn't had a chance. He doesn't get the protection. And
Well, that and they call a lot of
he's-
run in the red zone.
He's capable of it.
the red zone is tough because, we know this, but because the defense can just crowd into a
Right.
small area. The windows are tighter in the red zone.
We saw it in the preseason though when he was hitting not Jesse James. He had a little bit of chemistry with, and then he was hitting that other tight end.
Yeah, it's like on the run. That's like on the run shit. That's
It's
not
still touch with your arm though.
Yes, it is. But I'm talking about a little more loft, a little more like the type of throw that a guy goes up and gets, not like these angle. And listen, he can throw the fucking ball. I'm not saying he can. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. If he has that in his arsenal, he has not shown it. Circumstances be damned, he has not shown that he can put touch on a ball into the end zone with like a little loft to have a guy go up and make a play. If he could do that, Mooney would have scored the other fucking day. That throw to Mooney on the end zone. I mean,
The one where he had it in his hands and dropped it and then caught it
but
again.
it wasn't great. It was that was pretty zippy. Like Like you'd like a little less on that ball, I feel like. And Mooney still should have caught it. And I said a real receiver would have caught it. Claypool would have caught the fuck out of that ball. Claypool would have scored. Claypool would have snatched that shit out the air and stood there at the front of the end zone like, what?
Are we burying the headline of this whole thing, though?
What?
Come on down, Jack Bartholomew. Sanborn.
Oh, it's
second.
Sanborn season. Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see. You think he starts? You think he goes
Look at
right
Diddy.
into
Look at
played.
Diddy.
He played
You think
against
he goes-
Dallas. And
I know,
started
but
it.
you think
Dude, his
but
first
you-
play in the game, tackle for loss. Sanborn Sergeants, let's go.
Sergeant Sanborn's slaughter squad.
I'm super pumped up. I can't wait to see it.
Oh,
Dude, him and
please.
AJ Clyde.
If he played for Notre Dame, you'd be like fucking painting Sanborn on your chest.
He already
No.
Too much hair.
shaving it into the chest hair.
Right. Sanborn.
If he was,
it'll be
you know what
interesting.
though? Let me take that back. If Sanborn was a safety from Notre Dame, absolutely.
All I'm saying is, like Hamilton. If I think it was kind of telling.
God, Hamilton. Oh my God, him and Quan, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to. I'd like to know what it. I guess we do know. I mean, ultimately, we kind of know what Eberflus thought of Roquan because I think
signed
if
off
he
on
really,
it.
if he
did.
really wanted him to stay, I'm sure that he could have pushed for it and probably got it to happen. Like if he would have said to Poles, "Nope, this is my guy. This is the dude. Pay him whatever." He would have done it. Like he would have done it. And I think they gave him every chance to look like an impact player. And I don't think Eberflus gives a shit that there's not all kinds of marquee dudes around him because there wasn't around Shaq Leonard.
True.
Yeah.
Like or whatever.
Al-Qadim Muhammad was there.
Like right. Like I mean, he had some more dudes, but I'm just saying, like he should be making plays in this defense. He should be getting those tackles. Those tackles are a given in this defense. Like the linebackers eat.
I love how we don't remember what Urlacher was like when the dudes that used to keep him clean left. Like when he didn't have his guys in front of him. Dude he played behind Tommy Harris, Washington Trailer.
Right.
Like he always had dudes that were keeping shit clean for him.
Urlacher,
but when he led the league in tackles, it was amazing. You know how many tackles Quan would have if he had that in front of him?
I agree. I'm not saying he's not a good
Urlacher used to get
player.
eaten up by dudes getting to the second level.
All I'm saying is that
But Briggs really didn't though.
Eberflus said, this isn't. He's not. It's okay to trade him.
Briggs didn't have to worry about it though because the defense was concentrating on getting to the middle. Roquan didn't have that guy.
Yeah, I was thinking it's more of Briggs those last couple seasons.
You're comparing two different positions.
Yeah, he
Right.
plays Briggs's role, but
he's not Derek Brooks. Derek Brooks is not walking onto this field, did he?
He's no.
Yeah, but I know, Jared, but we've had this argument before, and Derek Brooks had Hall of Famers all around him, bro. So it's not even like.
Not my comparison. That's yours.
I said that he has a skill set of Derek Brooks. I don't even think Derek Brooks would be Derek Brooks right now here. You had Warren Sapp in front of you. You know what I mean? Like there was guys all over that defense that were freaking Hall of Fame quality players. This is a whole different ballgame.
Hey, Roquan's really, really good. I'm not trying to discount what.
No, I'm not either. I'm just saying. I think in our scheme with this defense, maybe they should have put him in the middle and kept him there. I don't know. Maybe Will was too much.
I just want to, every once in a while, they got a little creative in the way they used him, but I always just sort of thought, man, send this guy, on blitzes just a little bit more often. I know your linebacker group's not strong. He was still probably the best.
Nicholas Morrow sucks, dude.
So it's hard to take him out of coverage when your other linebackers are that weak. I just wish they would have gotten a little bit more creative with him because you saw he had a knack for getting to the quarterback and kind of wedging through the line of scrimmage. I just wanted to see more of that. I think he's going to do a little bit more of that in Baltimore.
He'll have an opportunity for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Morrow's terrible. I never liked that guy, and he showed me every reason why I didn't like him against Dallas. And then we got the Dolphins this week. Yay!
Well, I was going to talk to you guys about who you thought the go to the game was
Okay.
because you wanted to stay on that game. But
Oh.
Jared's trying to get to next week already.
Sorry, it's Justin.
Okay.
I mean, it's got to be a clean sweep there, I believe.
Well, not if we don't want to pick the same guy, but
I mean, you can't give it to Demo.
no. Herbert's an argument.
Yep.
Herbert is a legitimate argument. More 24.
If you wanted to not have everybody say Fields, I'm just saying. But
Right.
trying to move it around the room.
Justin's growth. Justin did it all.
Yep.
He looked like a great professional quarterback for once.
Hey, who you got for go to the game?
Against Dallas?
Yeah.
I don't know. Fucking Khalil Herbert.
There you go.
All right.
I mean, like,
For the sake of being different, I get it. We all agree with Fields, but
I'm
If I
not.
can't take. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not. I'm just. Like, I'm not that excited about that game. Like,
Nah.
it was nice to see that he played like a, like a competent player, but I'm not like over the moon about that game. It's not like he threw for 300 yards and had 3 touchdowns. Like, do that and run for 60, and a score. Okay,
he
like,
did.
I'll get hyped. It was fine. It was progress, but it wasn't like
3 touchdowns.
I want more yards than 123. Like 17 completions. Like, it's okay. It's
The yards
fine.
have to be there to be taken too.
He's also doing that though with a lackluster supporting cast. I think that
Listen,
makes it a little bit more
it was
impressive.
promising. I'm just
I
not
mean,
going
we
to
rushed for over 200 yards again, though.
Yeah, listen. I mean, I'll take it, but it wasn't
Against the Dolphins, you might.
The Dolphins are going to score 60 fucking points. You see who the Dolphins just traded for?
Bradley Chubb. If I go to the game, if I can't take Justin Fields and I can't take Khalil Herbert, it's definitely going to be Trenton Gill, 4 punts, 203 yards, a 50.8 yard average, 1 inside the 20, continuing his all-pro rookie
And he
season.
almost got one blocked, but he didn't.
It's like an assault on the record
Beast.
book for Trenton Gill.
Holden place kicks just perfectly. Trenton Gill, take a bow.
All right, for me being that I'm trying to just do somebody that hasn't been mentioned yet, it's Eddie Jackson, 7 tackles, 4 assisted, and 1 interception at a big moment in the game. Dude's balling this year, man. All things considered, like you can always make that excuse. You could do it I did it for Quan. When the defensive line's not playing at their best, it makes it very difficult for your defensive backs, and Eddie's still grinding with what's in front of him, and it's not that great. Like, imagine what he would be doing if that defensive line was getting more consistent penetration and all that. You know what I mean? So anyway, Eddie for me, he's totally turned it around. Like, this hits principle has been good for him.
Having Brisker
so
out
it's
there.
time to focus probably better with all the off-field shit he had going on that we didn't know about last year. But like Eddie's man, he's turned the corner from. It's a complete almost a 180 from the player he was last year.
Agreed, and he's laying people out. He's trying to. He's a hitman. I get you.
Well, and he's having the same, he's playing behind the same bad defensive line.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
Strong safety, though, next to him this year has also had a lot to do with that, allowing Eddie to revert back to his natural.
He had a tough time in coverage, but he'll get
Brisker's
better.
a perfect compliment to him, though.
Perfect.
He is.
I mean,
And he's going to be better than Amos overall.
if they have 8 draft picks after they traded for Claypool, so if they hit on 5 or 6 of those guys, that's going to be,
It's almost impossible. That'd be like one of the best drafts in the history of.
They might have done it this year, though.
I mean, they,
Okay. Kyler Gordon. That's
Yes.
still too early to tell, maybe? Or that's a hit? Okay.
No,
Javon Brisker.
So far, I would say Gordon's a hit. Brisker's a hit.
Braxton Jones a hit.
Yes.
Starter at left tackle.
Yeah. For the Warriors drafted, yes.
Trenton Gill.
Yeah.
Check.
That's 4.
Robinson.
So, Yeah, Dominique Robinson. Well, I think that might be little. I mean, he's flashed. I don't know. That might be a little early. And then you got All Day Ebner. All Day Ebner. Come on now.
Yeah, I think it's possible for them to hit on 5 of 8. I think that's realistic.
Now, if you do that back-to-back years, yeah, you got
that's
something.
You know, like I'm not talking about stars, but starters. Like
no contributors, yeah,
like starters. If you could draft 5 starters next year, which I think you easily can.
Yep.
At least 4 to 5, then you're in good shape.
Well, you don't have to overdraft a wide receiver now, right? Like, and that wide receiver draft isn't that deep. I said it earlier. Like you can pretty much go best player available.
They gotta draft defensive line
and offensive line.
Yeah.
But I if there's a top, 3 technique.
Right tackle isn't solved, man. Unless somebody on this roster shows that they can do it this year, that's definitely a possibility for the draft.
But I'm saying I want to see
left tackle's not solved either. I mean, I think Braxton Jones done a nice job. I don't know if we can.
He's been less noticeable.
For sure. I just wouldn't say that's a penciled in position. If for some weird reason the best left tackle in the draft drops to you, man, I would not have.
I also think
I'm probably less critical because of where he got drafted. So, like, for me, where he got drafted, he's playing way above
I think
his
they're
station.
rolling away from him a lot, too.
And you just activated Leatherwood, too, so still interesting.
Whatever that means. He didn't make the Raiders. Like,
interesting to see if you can get something out of him. You've got something out of these offensive linemen that you have now.
I'd be surprised. Do you think Leatherwood gets playing time right now? I don't know. I'd be surprised.
You might have to just because of injuries.
You see James Daniels in those goodbye pictures. You have to see James Daniels, bro, and those good, like, Claypool's going around saying peace out to everybody.
What is James Daniels doing?
No, I'm not. I can't do it on camera. I don't have the acting chops to pull that one off or the courage. To be honest with you,
does he look sad?
No.
Is he Kyle Long in?
He looks vulnerable. I'll just say that.
I don't know if I want to look that up.
I think I'm good.
Hey,
is Kyle Long in on the Tariq Cohen Graham kind of deal?
Actually, Chris Long sent tobacco to one of the players, chewing tobacco to one of the players in the Steelers, and like, it was on Claypool's Twitter feed, and he's like opening up the package for him. I don't know what the hell they were doing. Anyway, yep, that's on there.
Nice.
Sorry, what were we saying about Kyle Long?
Oh, that's not at all what I thought he was going to be doing, but yeah, okay.
I said vulnerable.
Smart call by you to not do that for sure. I would have screen grabbed that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'll have to show that. I didn't see it.
Just let it. I'll send it in the chat page.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Hey,
that was not at all what I was expecting to fucking see.
No, I haven't found it.
So here come the Dolphins.
Here, check this show page, chat. Here come the Dolphins. Okay, what scares you besides everybody?
Hey, Biscuits, you were close on the game call too. What did you have here? Let's go. Revert back here.
There's no way I was close on that.
Yeah, you had Dallas. You were the closest because you had Dallas scoring 26.
Wow.
The rest of us had them at 21. So, Biscuits, you took it this week. Congrats.
I'll wait my trophy in the mail. Thank you.
What is?
I had 26 in the first, over 26 in the first half.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Fade me. I'm not.
Those first 4 drives, that's demoralizing.
I picked
even with the talent completed defense.
Yeah, you did.
That was the most disappointing thing to see.
What's wrong?
AA took all the Flus juice.
I mean, that's my. I guess before we move on to Miami too, I think like for the first time since Justin's been here, this is probably the most he's felt that they are in on him the whole time, right?
Yeah,
sure.
That's a good thing for his development. Like I'm just saying, like he came in and he should have been able to compete right away.
Claypool is a legitimate weapon. Like the Packers wanted him. Like, you know how pissed we'd be if he went to the Packers now.
Oh God.
yeah.
You know how mad like Aaron Rodgers would have him fucking bawling, guaranteed. Like it's It's pretty good.
You got to remember that though, when like this shit starts flowing. That if he got with a guy like that, he'd be like probably a pro bowler, no question.
Yeah, no doubt. Anyway, Dolphins. What scares me? Like everything. Jalen Waddle,
kind of decent at is pass
Waddle and
defense.
Tyreek Hill are
Can we
like.
talk about what they turned that picking for that they got from San Fran for Trey Lance?
Yeah.
Pistons,
Turned it
you wanna run
into-
down those names.
Yeah, so they turned it into Bradley Chubb, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill.
And that doesn't even
That's
that
nasty.
doesn't even include the Laramie Tunsil
Correct. Yeah.
trade that they did.
Dude.
For two
They
first
got,
rounders.
like they have like built their whole team on those two trades. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, the jump that Jalen Waddle has taken this year, he's a
Ooh,
top
Tyreek
8 wide
Hill,
receiver. You got
dude.
Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb, even though he hasn't exactly put up the numbers in Denver, but nobody really has there. I think he's going to look really good down there in Miami. I'm actually scared for Justin this week.
Yeah,
I think I'm not as much after what I saw us do to Parsons. It
Tyreek Hill.
shows to me that they can
That
scheme
was
up.
a banged up Parsons, guys.
Yeah,
That
Parsons
wasn't
was a
100%.
little hobbled. He was a little hobbled there.
Tyreek Hill has 69 catches, and 961 yards
Yeah.
already.
That's already more than any Bears receiver will have this
Dude,
season.
it's like more than the whole team.
except Claypool, of course.
I mean, I don't know if the Bears have 69 catches on the season.
We gotta watch the pregame pressers this week from Daniels too.
right.
Jalen Waddle has
Mike
42 catches, 727 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Like, that's a nasty 1-2 combo.
That's insane. That might be the best wide receiver duo in football.
100%.
Yeah, but have they come up against this defensive back group?
Have they met Tyler Gordon?
Jalen's shutting his side down.
I mean, you can get to Tua.
We can't.
You can definitely get to Tua. I don't know if the Bears can, but teams can. They made a deal for Jeff Wilson, who is going to be perfect for Mike McDaniel's offense.
And Raheem Mostert, who was also in the 49ers backfield, has been actually playing really well for them this year.
Doesn't surprise me.
They might give up 200 again on the ground.
And Mike Gesicki is no slouch over the middle with a huge void now. That
Tua
Right.
surprises me. Tua does actually surprise me a little bit.
Did Adam Shaheen get cut, or is he still on the Dolphins? I think
He's
he
not
got
on
cut.
the Dolphins yet.
Oh, are you waiting for some Adam Shaheen revenge?
No, I just wanted to say the name Adam Shaheen.
Yeah, you did.
Oh. You want
So
to
now
do
that you
some
said
over-unders?
Adam Shaheen, right? Your boy
Yeah.
Shaheen.
Yeah. my
At least
boy.
we have Cole Kmet now.
I agree with Diddy though that Tua has taken a huge unexpected jump. And it
Tyreek
kind
Hill will
of
do that for you, though.
for sure. And
Yeah,
I'm
but
not trying to
I
say,
figured he would be more short.
People
shit.
are just way
too.
more open.
Look at
You got to
AJ
play him
Brown.
deep.
Look at Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown.
Oof, yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of player you would like to get for Fields. Is that I don't think Claypool's at that level.
And they did that AJ Brown trade after taking first round Devonta Smith the year prior. So they doubled down on it, which would be nice to see in the draft this year.
We'll see.
Claypool has an impact on everything, though.
Claypool over under.
For what?
Over under targets for
We don't.
Claypool.
I don't know if
Versus
he even.
Dolphins.
I don't know if he plays more than.
I'll set it at
Probably
3.
Over.
I don't think
Targets.
He plays,
This week?
I would set his snaps count as like 8 over under. I don't think he's gonna play a lot.
Oof, that would be a mistake.
I just don't think they throw him right out there and play him that right away like that.
I mean, he's in game shape. Why not?
I would.
I just don't know if they're gonna do it. That's
You
all.
can't just
We
tell.
did-
You can
San
tell him run a
Francisco
couple
did it.
simple routes.
San Francisco did what? With
They
McCaffrey?
took McCaffrey, throw him right out there for like half the plays.
I will say the running back position may be a little bit easier to sort of transition to on a week-to-week basis if you're doing that. But even if you're just going to stick Claypool out there just for the threat of, hey,
I hope they do. I hope he plays. I hope he plays all the offensive snaps. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. That's all.
You can take Velas's 8 snaps, give them to him. Take Pettis's 12 snaps, give it to him.
Willis Jones, bro. Oh, God.
Do you just convert him to running back at this point and just use him?
No, he'll fumble it.
He needs to get promoted to customer. Like, you know, like I'm sorry, like
maybe become like a value version of Cordero, maybe at some point.
He's like a Ty Montgomery.
I just don't. You don't waste the roster space on that shit.
Well, you have to now. He's a 3rd-round pick.
I think you at least want to see him become a staple at as a punt returner. I'd be fine.
No,
it's not a wasted draft pick at that point.
He's so bad at punt returns.
What I'm saying is, I hope he develops into one. Like at least he's a draft pick. You don't want to. You want them to pan out.
Happening. I hope it happens. I hope.
I don't see it either. I'd like to see it though.
You know.
So is he getting 3 targets?
I'd take the over.
Just taking the over.
I don't know if he's playing, bro.
I thought you said he was going to play.
If he plays.
I have no clue. I don't know when he's getting into town.
Right.
He's already in town. George picked him up from the airport.
I mean, shit, it's 3. It's
what happened? Biscuit?
George picked up Claypool from the airport today in his Letterman jacket.
On a scooter?
No, I don't think he left Pittsburgh yet.
It was a joke. Remember when George showed up?
Yeah. I don't know when they're planning on actually.
It's sad that we actually kind of thought that might have actually.
I'm just saying tomorrow's Wednesday. Then you got will he be here by walkthroughs?
I'm just not convinced he's going to play a ton. I hope they put in a package for him. Pause.
If he plays, I can see over 3.
Sure. If I was Justin, I'd fucking be throwing to him on the sideline. I don't even care.
He's open.
Tired of throwing to these bums.
What did you see out of his scouting report that you recall that?
What? Claypool? Let me search through my research. I don't know. He looked big and could catch. Ran fast.
No,
had some off the chart RAS scores.
RAS was like 9.98.
Dude, his RAS is like
drove off the road when did he?
Yeah, it's like a centerfold. It's like whoa.
Yeah, like hey.
Like it's
so over under on Bears rushing yards.
Over under is
175.
Yeah, I would say over.
I'm gonna say under. This is the week it stops.
Why you gotta be such a jerk?
Over 100.
Over 100.
Wide is 170.
The over under is 170.
I just think Claypool being here is gonna be too tempting for Getsy.
Oh, it's under. I'm taking the under. I did it.
I'm joking, man. I have no clue.
They're gonna lose. But it might be interesting. I don't know.
I mean, if they ran for 165 in a game, that's still really fucking good. Like, I think we're being spoiled by 230 yards every week.
I'd rather have experience for your defensive backs, though. This wide receiver group.
I'd rather have some more touchdowns.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, that's why you should maybe start giving Herbert the ball a little bit more.
Think how good this offense is going to be playing against Jack Sanborn every week.
Oh, so ask AA that. So we had AA or Diddy asked everybody that he was happy to see Montgomery stay. What are your thoughts on that at the deadline here? And keeping Montgomery.
I wouldn't have just traded him for nothing. If you could have gotten a 5th for him or a conditional 6th that could go to a 5th pretty easily, I would have done it. I wouldn't have minded. It's fine that he's here. I keep hearing everybody say that he's such a great pass blocker. I don't really see it that much. I think he's fine. I don't think that Khalil Herbert is asked to do it a lot. So people are kind of saying like one's a bad pass blocker and one's a good one. I'm like, when did we have enough sample size to even establish that? I don't know.
Monty gets in the way and keeps Justin clean enough to get out of trouble.
Yeah, because Monty loves to run to contact. Like
He does.
I mean, I like him. Don't get me wrong. I just think when Herbert it gets in the open field, it feels different.
Yeah.
And he just finds those lanes, like where it's like, oh shit, and then all of a sudden he's like into the.
He's more explosive. I like both of them.
He's a one-cut go.
Combo.
Is there a scenario for any of you guys where Montgomery is brought back at a certain figure that you'd be okay with?
Sure.
Yeah.
You pay him $5 million a year, I'm fine with that. I don't think running backs get that much money, so I'm not super worried about. He's not a guy who's
Saquon's a freak. Saquon.
Yeah, that's a whole different echelon. Like Montgomery's not even in the echelon. Montgomery is in a very replaceable echelon. So
agreed.
He could get. I think his max is maybe 6 a year, like realistically. And if they paid him, somewhere in the 5 to 6 range for 3-4 years, I wouldn't be like upset.
So, and the one thing working with us now that AA said that, your 2023 running back free agent, Saquon Barkley, Kareem Hunt, Rashad Penny, Josh Jacobs, Jamal Williams, Melvin Gordon, Raheem Mostert, Donta Foreman, who could showcase a little bit there in Carolina, Miles Sanders, who's done really, really well. So it's not like he's entering the market with
Miles Sanders from
Eagles.
No, where'd you go to college at?
Penn
State.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure it. I couldn't remember where he went to school at.
Oh, I thought you were like making some point.
Yeah.
No, fuck, I ain't making no points there.
Jared's like, I went to camp there when I was a youngster.
That's going to be Saquon.
No, it's not stolen valor. This ain't Michigan, pal.
The point is, there's a lot of options out there.
Right.
Devin Singletary will also be a free agent. Right. Damian Harris, who's done really well in New England. Tony Pollard,
Pollard. I don't know if the Cowboys can afford him because they're paying Zeke.
So the point is, Montgomery very realistically could be back here for $4 or $5 million
would be pretty damn good in Dallas. I was watching Pollard. I'm like, Monty would be all right in Dallas, man. That O-line is sick.
Pollard's fast.
Pollard's so much faster, though.
Sure, but I think Monty.
Pollard actually reminds me a lot of Herbert. They run pretty damn similarly.
He's not a shifty. Herbert's not a shifty.
No, because of one cut and go. Pollard, has a little bit more elusiveness to him.
A lot more, dude. I watched him shake like 3 dudes. That's why he kind of.
Well, our guys.
He operates in space, a lot of space, though, too.
Yeah.
I feel like Herbert's hole is closing quickly. Pause. Anyway, I don't know. I think we're going to predict the score. Let's predict the score.
Let's do some score predictions.
Score predictions.
Dolphins 37. Bears 24.
Oof. I got Dolphins 48. Bears 33.
Whoa. 5-point game?
Gonna be 48 to 33.
Oh, my bad. Game. My bad. I thought you said 38. Okay.
No, it's gonna be, but I think it's gonna be a rock'em stock'em robots.
Damn, back-to-back 40-plus point games from this
defense.
Oh, yeah.
The only way you keep that away is if you rush for 250 or 300. And I don't.
Hits principle is going to take some water.
And even then,
that's what they should do, really, is run the ball, obviously, super
take
heavy.
The ball. Do you take the ball? If you win the toss, do you take the ball to try to?
I would, personally. Yeah. Long drive, control the ground game early. Burn off as much clock as you can. That first drive, I absolutely would.
Yeah.
All right, Biscuits. What do you got for a score?
I got 33 to 18.
Dolphins. We assume only 18. That's sad.
18.
Think Chubb's gonna go off.
I think we're gonna see Trenton Gill quite a bit.
Oh god.
I think they're gonna struggle on third down, getting off the field. They're gonna be putting a lot of third and longs.
All right, I got Dolphins 31, Bears 21.
Good times. Good times. Good times.
Shit, that's depressing.
Any shade?
Mm.
My shade is to the people who bitched about us not drafting Chase Claypool and have been screaming all year about getting Justin some help, and then bitched about us trading for Chase Claypool. That's my shade.
I'm assuming that happened on Twitter.
I was, I'm glad I
That's
didn't see that. I'm glad I didn't see that.
Out in the
very
cesspool,
specific shade.
there were people.
No, I just think it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
definitely it's the same crowd that's been bitching. Well, you didn't give Justin any help. This was a flawed offseason plan. It was definitely flawed. Okay, so he trades for him, and now it's like, well, you're giving him too much.
What were
The
they
options
supposed
next
to get
year-
him?
Exactly.
I think draft wise, you could definitely say that, but free agency after
Nah.
the Jaguars fucked up and paid Christian Kirk all that money, like.
You're
the
talking about
market
this
was
draft. I'm
fucked.
thinking next draft. Sorry, I'm thinking next draft.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
like,
just
But
saying.
even that's a 50-50. I mean, not even a 50-50 shot. Your second round percentage success on a hit's like not even 20%.
right.
You're rolling the dice there. And the free agents, we talked about this earlier. Do any of these excite you? Nelson Aguilar, Sterling Shepard, DJ Chark, Randall Cobb, Marvin Jones, Julio Jones, Byron Pringle, Alan Lazard, Juju Smith-Schuster, AJ
Pringle
Green.
does. Pringle does. Have you watched his juice highlights?
I would like to see him get Juju.
That's probably the best of the bunch. Jarvis Landry, maybe.
Man back together.
What's Juju done?
Oh, Paris
Not
Campbell with the Colts. Watch out. That could be an Eberflus.
I would rather draft a wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're gonna go big. I think maybe you re-sign N'Keal Harry.
You can get a wide receiver a late.
You re-sign
St. Brown.
Yeah, I think he's earned a contract, 2-year
agree.
deal.
I agree.
This would be better for St. Brown too with Claypool here.
St. Brown, 2 years, $6 million.
Guy makes
whatever.
plays every time he touches the ball. He's been to me
blocks.
one of the nicest surprises. Nothing special, but yeah, he's a solid ass player.
All right. Well, I think that's actually that's pretty formidable if you have Mooney, Claypool, Harry.
I think Claypool's going to be a better pro with Getsy because Getsy has proven to have pretty good effect on wide receivers with a lot of talent.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Coach Devontae Adams and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, whatever. I think it'd be. It's got. Like I
And we
said,
got what is it? Is it Tolbert there or
Like
wide
it's-
receiver coach too?
Yeah.
yeah. At least it's something to fucking be a little hyped about. Like it was pretty bleak there. Even though like I said, I can get behind the Roquan trade, intellectually, I suppose, but it was just gonna be a fucking long year.
Well, QB1 needed wide receiver 1, and I think we got a guy that has potential to be that.
You know who didn't get wide receiver 1? Packer
Yeah.
Bob. And all you Packer fuckers. Here's a list for you, Packer Bob. You're on it. You're hating life, and I'm loving it.
That's the name of the list?
That's the list.
Nice.
It's as dumb as his list titled names.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to point out for those of you just eagerly listening at home before this episode ends, and something I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on is
No!
Albert Breer put out a tweet today that it kind of made me think about how, Poles went out and for the first time hired an assistant GM, and I think AA touched on this a little bit in the offseason about the need for checks and balances on how that might have been a decent move to kind of go against what we saw in Payson going rogue and sort of having someone to kind of talk things through with. All three of these trades involved assistant GM Ian Cunningham's connections. Cunningham came up under Ravens GM Eric DeCosta. He worked with Steelers assistant GM Andy Weidel in Philly and Baltimore, and he worked for Eagles GM Howie Roseman. So do you guys think is that sort of reaching a little bit? Is it overblown? But do you think that so far having that has been a positive for the Bears this year?
I mean, it's obvious, right? Because the two teams he dealt with are teams that he's worked with. So, of course, it's
the league is about relationships. If you have more people in your front office that have relationships with colleges and with teams, it's important. It's extremely important. Like it's completely about relationships. So yes, I think that helps, and I think we've documented and talked about how Pace's isolation and lack of, I think, connections hurt him.
Well, he had Champ. Champ was like his go-to guy.
Yeah, but other than that, they were kind of in a vacuum, and they were stuck with some of the same old faces. Your Sadowski, your Mark Sadowskis, and you're like, some of these guys who've been around forever, just chewing the same gum in the corner. Like I feel like Poles went through and cleaned house, and he's got a, because he worked with so many GMs in Kansas City, and then adding that assistant general manager is extremely important.
And ownership's all in on this guy.
As they should be, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing, so they might as well buckle up.
He's made major change here. He's moved major pieces.
Ryan Pace could never have done that.
Jared, what do you think about that? The assistant.
I like it.
Yeah.
Ryan Pace did build the roster from what it was in 2015 to.
He just built it wrong.
He just fucked up. He missed on Mitch. And he missed on a couple of guys. He missed on Kevin White. He missed on Mitch. And we've documented this well. So it's the difference between sucking and looking good is like 3 players in the NFL. Sometimes, 4 players you miss on 3 or 4 first round picks. It's over for you. That's what happened.
He built the team for like a 1-year run.
But it wasn't,
the window closed so quick.
And he just, like we've said many times before, he overspent on everything, and he
got fleeced.
Well, I think that's where the Ian Cunningham I think, yes, the connections around the league are super helpful, but when you're talking about dealing a star like Roquan Smith, it's sort of nice outside of like a Champ Kelly or a Mark Sadowski to talk to a guy who's been in multiple front offices and kind of talk that whole decision through. Is this a guy that we do want to move on from? Would Pace have made that Mac trade if he sort of had someone to say, hey, you might want to look at it from this perspective?
Yeah, I think you still make the Mac trade. I think anybody makes the Mac trade.
You also have a transition that could take place that, like, Poles could end up being a football operations guy and have his buddy take over. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
He's building his own department where this is the structure of how the structure of the team should be, is how he's building his side of things. So I'm happy with it.
Poles has not been perfect, but he's been extremely active, and he's really turned over the roster nearly completely. So, and they're at least respectable. I mean, and I think with the coaching that they have, they've got young guys who are playing at a respectable level, and they really just turned over the whole damn roster, and so far it feels promising. I mean, that's all,
I think what feels promising is knowing that Cunningham came from the Eagles. They did a very similar thing there. And look how they are now. There's some hope. That's a blueprint that you can follow.
That's a good point here, especially along their offensive line. The Eagles built a nice offensive line, and the Chiefs quietly built a nice offensive line as well.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see, like, who do they spend this money on that they're going to have. Because they're going to have to spend this money. Like, I don't even know who you spend it on.
Roquan Smith will be a free agent this offseason.
Right. That'd be hilarious if they signed him for 17.
I want to,
I don't think he will be. I think Baltimore will take care of that.
For sure.
What defensive tackles are available? Can we get
Daron Payne, please and thank you, Daron Payne.
Vea or somebody? I don't know.
Daron Payne, 100% is going
about
to
offensive
top
linemen?
of the defensive tackle market.
Yeah, I mean, if they could sign like a real deal Trent Williams type of guy.
All right, so your free agents along the offensive line. Orlando Brown Jr.
There you go.
Jack Conklin. Good, solid right tackle. Rodney Hudson, Mitch Morse at center. George Fant, right tackle. Connor McGovern, Jason Kelsey at center, but he'll probably never leave Philly. Justin Pugh, Roger Saffold, Matt Pryor, Cameron Irving, Mike McGlinchey, right tackle, if that interests anybody. Garrett Bradbury, center.
Actually, Jared likes him too.
I do like McGlinchey.
Dan Feeney.
Let's get the Notre Dame squad.
IU, baby. Dan Feeney.
It is all about that.
Isaiah Wynn, it's had his ups and downs in New England, but is still overall pretty solid tackle.
Who's the free agents for defensive line, like interior?
Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, David Onyemata, Larry Ogunjobi, Sheldon Rankins, Taven Bryan, Deron Payne, Jerry Tillery,
Deron Payne,
Derek Nanadi. Wow. Tyquan Lewis.
I'm an idiot. Where does Deron Payne play?
Washington.
Okay.
Washington. He's actually pretty fucking good.
He's really good.
Is he the dude from Bama?
Yes.
Yes.
They also have Jonathan Allen from Bama.
That's what I'm thinking of, Allen, man. Who's
Allen's also very fucking good.
Yeah.
Get Nick Williams back.
I haven't heard a lot from Bilal Nichols, have we?
No.
I don't think he's doing anything in Oakland.
Armand Watts will be a free agent this offseason.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Critical loss.
Critical, yeah, gotta keep him. Gotta keep Armand.
But there's some guys. There's some guys.
Yeah, I just think it'll be interesting. I'd like to see him if they have a top 10 pick. I'd like to see if they could take a really good defensive lineman
or offense, either line, either side of the line.
Sure, I mean I'm good with either. But
well, that's the beautiful thing about the Chase trade here is it really has opened you up to best player available in the first round. You're not pigeonholed into taking a wide receiver just for the necessity of taking one.
Right, and you can get a solid 3-tech in the second and the third too.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I kind of don't unless there's like a slam dunk tackle or something. I don't know that you.
There's not much on the outside linebacker market.
That's all right. We got Jack Sanborn, baby. The fuck.
Don't forget AJ Klein, man.
I think you put Morrow out.
You already know what the fuck's going
Sanborn
on.
inside.
I think maybe just convert Sanborn to 3 technique and just let him work.
Yeah,
let him
work.
Let him be a tight end.
Put him in that big nickel.
Yeah, big nickel. Put him in the nose tackle, wherever. He's like Micah Parsons, basically. It's the same player. It's like the same exact player. If you close your eyes, you just hear them pads hitting.
The fact that this joke is actually becoming realistic.
It's bad.
No, it's like we manifested all this shit, like except for all the pain. But maybe we did manifest that too.
It's always a roller coaster ride, though, isn't it? Like yesterday, I'm like, I don't even want to do this podcast, bro. Like after this one, this might be my swan song for the season. We're not getting a receiver. Fuck this shit. And I'm like,
not only did
like
Diddy Damas called it.
Poles is like, hey,
he called the compensation too, and we were talking earlier this week. I think I said a 4th, Diddy said a 2nd, and then he's like, we'll settle on a 3rd, but I think he'll go for a 2nd. So shout out to you, Diddy.
I was hearing it go for a 2nd, but I just didn't think it was realistic, man. We never this is on kind of uncharted territory for us, right? This was a historic trade deadline.
I need to throw a little bit of shade at this kook Seth Walder from ESPN Analytics.
Who's playing videos into the mic?
I was.
Oh, cool.
I didn't mean to. It won't shut up.
Get it.
What were you saying?
Anyway, this fucking clown Seth Walder on ESPN Analytics said that he gave the trade a D+.
Because of the compensation?
I don't know, but what could he possibly be? I don't get it.
For us or for them?
You have 1.5 years cost control left. I mean,
I just don't understand. It's a 2nd round pick.
On its face, it's a little bit of an overpay, I guess you could say, because it's a higher pick than what he was drafted with. But again, opportunity cost wise, it's still, I think, a good value for the Bears on where they're at.
Draft somebody in the 2nd round and have like a what did you say, like a 20% chance of them?
How do you grade
That's the opportunity cost of it.
How do you
grade
a
value
trade?
from that standpoint?
Grading a trade like this is as dumb as grading a draft pick, before they step on the field.
Dear God, don't let him be Mike Wallace.
It's total clickbait. He isn't going to be that. I think and you are either choosing to have a crapshoot or a guy you know is talented enough to start for you tomorrow.
Correct.
Like
It's not like the
question.
Patriots, Jared. These guys actually produce after they leave Pittsburgh. Some of them.
Really?
Emmanuel Sanders had a great career after he left Pittsburgh.
That's true. That's
I
true.
mean, a lot of Antonio Brown, except for going crazy, actually
Plexico
had.
Burris was a better player on
Yeah.
the Giants than he was on the Steelers.
Also another good one.
Yeah, he really got his shot.
He did.
He loaded up in the
He
slot.
took. No, the problem is,
Really
unlike
took his-
Hamilton,
His
he
shot.
did. He sure did.
Jesus. Good old Plax. Anyway, shade to that kook. I know it's just clickbait, but geez, like D. Okay, you could tell me a C because you think you paid too much, but a D. I mean, like, just tell me you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like,
I don't know what he based his grade on, but why even grading it is stupid.
It's
I'm sorry.
it's silly and it makes no sense. But like, I just don't know how you could come up with that. Like, if you're the whole idea of grading it is ridiculous, but grading it to an extreme like that, you're just clowning. You're just being a troll.
The other good thing about Chase Claypool is he's been remarkably healthy in 2.5 years. He's only missed one game, I think, 1 or 2 games.
He had a surgery on his arm or something, but yeah.
Yeah, he's only missed 2 games, and both of those were last year. So he played all 16 as a rookie, he played in 15 last year, and he's appeared in all 8 this year.
I mean, Marcus Wheaton, he is not.
No, that was.
We
like,
hope.
that was like.
Yeah, Marcus Wheaton never had no 800-some yards, back-to-back seasons leaving Pittsburgh.
No, this is just timing. Pickens stepped up. Freaking
Deontay Johnson's there.
Deontay Johnson stepped up. They were gonna have to pay both Johnson and Claypool.
I would just like to thank Mitch for sucking and giving us Chase Claypool.
Pretty much. That's
Because
kind of
if
how that
Mitch
went
had
down.
played
Right?
well, he would not be like if Mitch and him are clicking. Like,
Man, he went from Matt Nagy to Matt Canada.
rough. People
Brutal.
thought Matt Canada was going to do a good job, though. Everybody's like acting like it's super trendy to be like Matt Canada, ho ho ho. But people like that hire.
Well,
Yep.
the thing.
He's
actually,
been around.
Yeah.
Matt Canada is kind of where Nagy got a lot of his shit from.
You know where I remember
No, I'm
Matt-
serious. Like Matt Canada's college stuff started creeping into the NFL.
You know where he coached at?
Interesting.
LSU, right?
And
Notre Dame? Oh, IU?
we had him at IU.
Sorry about
That's
that.
all right.
That's
Yeah.
going way back in the Wikipedia page.
Well, yeah, they ain't writing that shit down on his fucking.
No, I know his big impact was with LSU's offense. So
Well, he brought
I
in the pistol for us.
The pistol
Pistol offense
for what's his face?
for I don't even remember who the coach was then. We've been through a couple.
But
anyway.
that quarterback was that
That wasn't Penix.
I don't think I
Before
could name
that.
you one IU quarterback in the last ever.
Randall L.
the last ever.
Antoine Randall L.
Antoine Randall L.
Right, Michael Penix.
Okay.
Don't call him
That's
Penis Penix.
He's over at Washington now.
He transferred.
Yeah, he hit the portal. He was smart.
He's
Thank
like,
God
"Okay,
he.
get the
Thank
fuck
God he.
outta
Thank
here."
God he stopped weighing down the
Jerry, are you
juggernaut.
upset about all these Notre Damers? No.
The Notre Dame Irish to Bear ratio is a little upsetting.
Shout
But
out
if it
Isaiah
results-
Likely.
Oh, Coastal.
Sorry, had to get
But if it results in better effort and the team playing well, I will look past it.
Real big of you.
Thank you.
I mean, if you spent your whole life like only rooting for IU football players, it'd be pretty tough. road to hoe.
It's tough, man.
Like-
It's a tough life, my friend.
You know who was another Team Jordan guy? Speaking of IU football players, Jordan Howard somehow was a
He
Jordan
was.
football guy. Not
He
with
was.
the Bears, I don't believe.
Oh, the Jordan thing it's not as
No,
like when they first started. It was different. Like
it
they only-
doesn't. Yeah,
You
it
had the
doesn't
Jeter, Ray Allen. There were
It
only
doesn't
four
mean
guys.
shit. It doesn't mean shit. I just thought it was kind of interesting because they don't have that many guys in the NFL. I just thought it was kind of interesting. It don't mean shit.
No, the original ones did though. It was like Roy
Yeah.
Jones Jr. and like there was
Yeah,
one athlete in each sport kind of thing.
Yeah, now they just get who they get. But I'm down to see some Jordan cleats. I don't even see a lot of Bears players. Not a lot of Bears players wear Jordan cleats.
No, especially in Chicago, it'd be dope.
Like Bears color Jordan cleats. That'd be pretty.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever noticed that.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't know if anyone's done it.
Nike Sharks are the best.
Hey,
Or
he's
they
so
were the
bored
best.
with the Bears play. He's looking at the
Wasn't Ben?
cleats.
I'm trying to think of a Chicago athlete that's been a Jordan athlete.
Alshon
I think
was
Yep.
also.
Alshon was
Yeah.
also. I think Ben Gordon might have been.
Oh God, no.
I don't know why I thought
He
Jalen
was not a
Johnson
Jordan
was one.
athlete.
I thought Ben Gordon was Team Jordan.
I don't think so. He always had terrible black shoes. They were not good shoes.
No.
If he had Jordans, then they were like the worst Jordans of all time because he always looked like he was wearing like black Air Force Ones. Like he wore some terrible shoes, Ben Gordon. I don't believe he was a Jordan guy. Maybe Jalen.
No,
Rose.
maybe not.
Jalen Rose, maybe. I believe he might have been. I don't think it,
Oh, did y'all hear that he got arrested?
Jalen Rose
Ben Gordon.
recently.
Yeah.
He's
He
been going
was
through a tough-
arrested on October 11th for apparently hitting his 10-year-old son.
Jeez, he's been going through a tough time since he's
Yeah,
played.
yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
going through some struggles.
That sucks.
That's
He was a Nike guy, by the way.
Was he? I
Yeah.
don't think he was Jordan though.
No, it wasn't Jordan. He was
Yeah.
just straight
But
Nike.
I remember him being notorious for wearing some ugly ass shoes. I liked Ben Gordon's game though.
Yeah, hell yeah. I was a big Ben Gordon fan. I'm sorry to hear he's going through that. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess that's it, boys. We got Chase, motherfucking. Don't call him Les Primus Claypool.
It's all about QB1 from here on out, boys.
Sorry.
That good development.
It's all about.
Take away Mooney's number and just give it to Chase.
Oh snap!
Sorry,
No.
Sorry, Moon.
Chase it, don't waste it.
Oh shit!
Chasing decent.
Always.
Chasing decent. Yes.
The deep end of the Claypool. That's a good one, Jared. From boats and hoes to the deep end of the Claypool. Oh yeah! Shout out to boats and hoes, Roquan. Boats and hoes, Quan.
Claypool is a specimen, though.
We had fun with boats and Hoquan.
Yes, we did.
He brought us joy. Shout out to him. I hope he does well. I wish him nothing but the best. Have a good crab cake.
You think Bella Danger's going to meet him in Baltimore?
Probably.
Do you think any Bear is going to cry at the podium this week like he did for Robert?
Oh,
Too soon?
I don't think any Bear's gonna cry.
You know, I will give him that, though.
Kendall will.
I don't know. It was kind of like his personality was starting to kind of show more.
Gear.
Even like the first game, like the Mud Bowl or whatever, the slip and slide game. Like
Mic'd up.
he was excited like a kid, man. Like I liked him. I have no problem with Roquan. I like the fact that who
agree.
cares? He's a young dude having fun, doing his thing, partying. I don't really give a fuck. Like,
And
he was good.
he absolutely should have tried to get his money. I don't blame him at all.
Shout out to my jersey curse.
yeah.
At one time, I bought a Mac, a Trubisky, and a Roquan jersey.
I got all three too.
Not I.
Unfortunately,
I do have a Roquan.
I don't have a Roquan. I got Mac and Biscuit. No Roquan.
I have not bought any. I'll order that Claypool jersey.
I
tomorrow.
bought this hat.
Oh, did your hats come in?
Yep.
Nice.
A little black and white action.
Well,
I want
I'd say
that.
that's
I'm gonna order that Mapletron jersey.
You went all in, man. You spent about what, $95? AA is fully committed.
I know they broke me with their sales. Bastards.
They finally got you, man.
They broke me.
So on his own website, he calls himself Mapletron.
I didn't know he was
He sells
Canadian.
Mapletron T-shirts.
I don't know.
Hey.
I'll boot that.
Hey, Mapletron in the house.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend that doesn't exist. That seems pretty weird. I'm gonna go ahead and just pretend that's not real. Thanks for pointing it out, though.
Well, boys, that's it.
Yep.
It's just another.
The tailgate show.
The back-to-back 40 burgers.
Keep it up.
The Claypool is very nice on this end.
Very nice.
It's very nice.
Dip your
We
toes
like-
in it.